Guys, what's up? It's John. I'm here with my good friend Jeffrey Wittenhagen. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, John?
Good, good. So I think we'd like to talk about the new Switch OLED that they announced, right? Big news by Switch. Not the Switch Pro we were hoping, unfortunately. But what do you think about it, man?
So the Switch OLED's an interesting amalgam because I mean everybody anticipated that Nintendo was going to come out of the gates rolling and we're going to get this HD ready new console. But Nintendo did what Nintendo always does, John, and they released a marginal upgrade with some better visuals. I mean, we've talked about this before, and the Switch is a hybrid handheld slash console.
Mhm.
What does Nintendo do, John, with the handheld market? Not the console market, the handheld market.
They
What do they
release
do?
tons of different versions and different. Yeah, every year they release something new. That's what they did with the Game Boy, and that's what they did with the DS. Yeah,
Think about the 3DS,
right,
John. Like we had
right.
the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the 3DS XL's larger, and
Yeah,
then the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL, and then
and
the
then there was,
2DS.
yeah, the 2DS. That's right, the one that didn't even fold. That was the first version of it, and then they had the folding version. Anyway, yeah, you're right. There's tons of different variations. Um, so it's coming out on October 8th, right, later this year,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
coming out this year.
7-inch screen opposed to a 6.2-inch screen, which we currently have, and supposedly the colors are brighter and the blacks are darker, so it's a little bit more visual, but it's not like any higher definition than the original standard Switch, from my understanding. It's only $50 more than the standard Switch. It's $150 more compared to the Switch Lite, which we'll probably see a Switch Lite version 2, I'm sure, next year. That's just a matter of time, right? So I don't
Well,
know.
we keep seeing new colors, so eventually they're
That's
gonna
true.
throw out like their classic Zelda console or something
Yeah.
else that they'll do. Hmm.
The new dock looks really cool. To be honest, I'm a Switch fan. I know you are obviously one. I'll pick one up, right? But the dock looks kind of cool. The one thing, the design flaw I feel with the Switch, and I don't feel like they addressed it here, is the fact that the power adapter is at the bottom of the Switch, because they do have a nice, they have a new like folding out extension, like a, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but like a
The
stand, right?
the new
The stand is
stand.
different, right? The stand
Hmm.
is wider and it's more. The Switch stand is flimsy. It breaks off all the time. At least mine does, right? So they've improved that. But when you're playing on a stand, you can't have the console plugged in because the power adapter is at the bottom of the console.
Yeah, I mean you're not wrong, and I never used the original Switch stand. Actually, with one of my Kickstarters, I created a Switch
Hmm.
arcade that I could put mine in, and there was a little notch for the plug
Right,
because again, like you can't prop it up plugged in.
right.
Yeah,
So they need to move that on top, and I don't think they, from looking at the pictures, I don't think they've addressed that issue.
no,
And if
that's
they
a
had it
good
on the
point.
top, if they had it on top, you can play on the stand and plugged in, but you can't currently because the plug is in the way. You can't stand it when the plug is plugged in.
I never even thought of that, John. Like that is actually a really good point.
Yeah,
And
yeah. So it's a huge design flaw. Not that I'm hating the Switch, but it's a great system. But that's just one thing I wish they'd fix. And unfortunately, I don't think Nintendo really fixed that. Maybe they will when the Switch Pro comes out, right? Because everyone wants the new Switch Pro.
Well, like so this OLED one too, again though, is only for handheld players really, because
Right,
the only marginal upgrade for TV gamers is that Ethernet cable port that they put on there, which
right,
helps with online gaming.
right,
So really that's your only, your only niche thing, and that's only in docked mode. For me, I don't know if you know this, but I do have a Switch kiosk.
yeah. I
So
know.
that's what I play my Switch on. So if the dock isn't compatible with that in an easy way where I could put the new dock on, I may even hold off. Because the dock, if it's a different shape and doesn't fit the construct of the kiosk, because they're all custom fit,
Yeah.
um, we'll see. Because it may not be
The
worth it because I play in handheld, but I love playing, and I'm pointing because
right.
that's where my kiosk is in my game room. I love playing on that thing. That's my preferred way.
My understanding is it's about the same size as the standard Switch, right? But I think it's maybe a slightly thicker, like by like, I mean, I don't know, from what I looked at the dimensions anyway. So it's
Yeah.
just slightly thicker. So you bring up a good point, because will this work with existing docks? I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if you have to have the new dock station to work with the new OLED. I mean, that'd be Not that wouldn't surprise me. A move by Nintendo, would it you though? Honestly.
Well, like the weird thing is that Nintendo, this isn't the first revision they've done with the Switch. I
Right.
mean, they had went to the, I call it the Red Box update, where it actually created a little bit better battery life and a little bit better processor
Right.
speed that
Right.
they slowly moved out. And now that I'm on the physical publisher side, I can order like demo units. And ordering those demo units, like it actually specifies that second one is a different revision of the hardware. So it's actually by Nintendo, a revision, whether they show it at retail or not, it is a revision. So this one is the next revision of the physical, actual Switch.
Yeah. I'm curious if the Joy-Cons will actually work. The old Joy-Cons, if they're going to work on this model too.
I would be surprised if they don't. It would
Right.
seem like something that, unlike Nintendo, for a console generation to do that.
Now the pictures I saw online, they were the red and blue. Like, but I'm sure there's going to have a gray. I'm sure they're going to have, various different models of the versions of the Switch. Right. That's just what Nintendo
White,
does.
right? In
Right.
the white one, that's the marketing one. The white Switch is
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I was reading a review. A reviewer had his hands on one of these and said it's okay, but it's definitely not like what people were hoping for as far as like the Pro, like
No.
the next major evolution step, right, of the Switch. And I don't think we're there quite yet.
Well, and I mean, so the mantra of Nintendo is to do unique and new things with each of their console
Right.
generations. So
Right.
to me, the Switch OLED combined with what we just saw with the Switch Lite, and then you're going to anticipate, a Switch Lite 2 or, like the 2DS, which is what the Lite is the 2DS of the Switch community.
Right.
Something
Right.
like that. It just leads us into we'll probably be that far along in that console generation for Nintendo, which is outside now the console generation of the other consoles.
Right.
It might lead us to a Switch 2, and I just hope, fingers crossed, that it's backward compatible, because I do not want to restart my Nintendo collection again.
Why would it not be? That'd be dumb.
There would be no reason not to.
Right.
I just hope, because not only are we all you're creating games, I'm creating physical stuff. It would be really super cool to keep it going, but also like at this point in my collecting mantra, I just want to have a succinct collection, and if it happens to be that the Switch 2 has a different box style but it plays Switch 1, I'm cool separating it, but I don't want to
Yeah.
just start over like I did with Wii U to Switch.
If Nintendo was smart, and we know they are, but if they were smarter, they would release an adapter for DS games, where you could play like how cool would that be? Or even I know the 3DS wouldn't play in 3D necessarily because the hardware is not there, right? But it'd be really cool to have it backwards compatible to play DS games. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh my gosh, DS and 3DS, like without the
Right.
slider. But yeah,
Right,
that
right.
would be amazing.
It wouldn't be the first time they've done it. They did it with the Super Game Boy, right? They released, you could play Game Boy games on the Super Nintendo. So it wouldn't be you could play Game Boy Advance games on the GameCube, right? So it wouldn't be the first time Nintendo's done something like that, where you could play other consoles of theirs on a new console.
And those in the comments that might say, "How do you do the two screens?" We go like this.
Right.
And you pull it on Tate mode or Tate mode or whatever people call it, and literally you have your two screens right there, because you can play vertical games like that, like Donkey Kong. Nintendo's already done it with Donkey Kong with Arcade Archives, so you could do that with at least the 2DS. The 3DS does have that larger screen on the bottom, so actually on the top, so it wouldn't necessarily meet the ratio, but the DS would, and that would be super cool. I would love to see that. That would just open up the floodgates. Oh my!
Or even where's the Virtual Boy, man? Virtual Boy love having a Virtual Boy adapter play.
Never having a Virtual Boy. If they didn't pull the trigger with the 3DS with the Virtual Boy, they're not gonna.
That's true. That would have been a perfect console to release Virtual Boy games on the eShop for, I think, anyway.
And yes, I am crazy enough to do a Virtual Boy book. Yeah, I did.
You are, but love
Let
it.
me just hang my head.
That's why we love you, Jeff. That's why we
just hang my
head.
But
yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think the price tag is only $50 more, so it's not like they're asking.
Yeah.
Like if it was like $100 more, I think that'd be a stretch. But I think the price is right. We'll see how hard it is to find, right? Because we know the production in China is. I mean, firsthand, how hard it is to get stuff made now with the COVID and the supply chain. It's insane, right? So
I got stories for people that want to know. Just ask, and John and I will talk about it. I will share stories.
Yeah, that is true. So awesome. Well, I think anything else you want to talk about regarding the OLED?
Oh, I just think that the Switch OLED is going to be a niche thing. I don't know how well it's going to sell, because for those of us that are Switch obsessed, we may pull the trigger and get one. But like for anybody that's just even a normal gamer, a normal collector, I don't see there being enough meat on the bone in order to pull the trigger and get a new one or even upgrade.
I think, again, if they could come up with a version that could go online and play it, maybe with has some type of cellular service or something like that where you can take it and go online with it. That'd be another really cool thing. Go on the website, you can go use Chrome, whatever it is. You can't do that on the Switch. You can't really turn it into a tablet per se, right? And that'd be, I think that would take it to the next level, is to have the ability to play online without being home, to really be
I have to hotspot
mobile.
it on my phone. That's how I do it. Like I have my
Right.
phone, I have a hotspot, and then I can play it like mobile.
Right.
But that's a bit of an encumberment for when it comes to like an ease of use. Like
Right.
they did it with the Vita.
Right. Right. So that'd be the kind of next big step for me. Obviously, the next, I think the Switch Pro, which everyone's talking about, it'd be cool. Obviously, increased graphics would be great. Like play more in tune, like with the PS5 and the Xbox Series XX would be really cool. But again, they would have to have that backwards compatibility. I think it would be dumb to not be able to play normal Switch games on if they were to do that. So, but Nintendo's done that before.
Nintendo's Nintendo, man. And I mean, I will say it before and I'll say it again. I love retro gaming, so the Switch is perfect for me because it hits all those niches. We get our cartridges. We get retro style games. Games like, your background, Sydney Hunter, were perfectly. It's like a perfect fit for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I mean, so like to me, the Switch is still great. I'm not a modern gamer. I do like my new stuff, but like, so the Switch is cool. Would we love a Switch Pro? Absolutely.
Absolutely. And shout out to Premium Edition Games too. Do you want to give a quick plug about your business and kind of what you're working on as we wrap things up?
Yeah. So I'm publishing physical games our own way. We go real slow. We create challenge cards and patches. So we have our own achievement system for the Switch where you can actually set achievements, and we mail you patches on our games. It's inside every game that you have the opportunity to do that. We're just about to start shipping out our second series of games, which is a robot named Fight and Demon Steer. You can see a couple pictures over my shoulder. But Metroidvania style game and a Gauntlet style game, and they're about to start shipping very soon. So it's pretty cool. It's premiumeditiongames.com. If John would have known that Premium Edition existed, Sydney Hunter might be going to a different realm.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe.
Indeed.
I'm still buying it, even though like I still want it. I still love all the games. And that's the thing. So like with my company though, we're collectors still. We're still gamers. So we're keeping things small and fun and unique on purpose. And I'm a book dude, so you're getting hardcover strategy guides.
Yeah, hell yeah. I got your 2 first games. I pre-ordered your next 2 batches, so I'm super excited for those. So awesome stuff. I'll put a link below. Definitely show some love. I mean, Jeffrey's part of the YouTube community, has been for years. So I think it's really cool that we have someone in the community that's actually publishing physical games for the Switch. I mean, kudos to you. So awesome.
It's madness.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll take care. We'll see you guys soon, and game on. Bye.